On January 8, 2026, the Confederation of Sahel States, led by Captain Ibrahim Traoré, issued a powerful statement that echoed across the globe. A voice from Africa, firm and unapologetic, condemned the United States for its military operation in Venezuela, calling it what it truly is, an act of aggression. This wasn't just a political statement, it was a historic moment, a symbol of Africa's awakening, a continent no longer willing to stand by, while international laws are broken and global injustice is normalized. In early January, U.S. military forces launched an operation inside Venezuelan territory. The mission resulted in the abduction of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife Celia Flores, a shocking move that sent ripples throughout Latin America and beyond. The United States claimed the action was necessary for regional security, but many around the world saw it as a blatant violation of international law and sovereignty, especially for a country that sits as a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. While the world watched in disbelief, silence followed from many so-called global leaders. But from the heart of Africa, from Ouagadougou, the capital of Burkina Faso, a powerful voice emerged. The AES, a new bloc of nations, including Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, issued a declaration that would inspire millions and challenge the status quo. The AES statement was not soft. It was not diplomatic fluff. It was clear, direct, and fierce. The Confederation stated that the use of force by one country against the sovereignty of another is an act of aggression and a violation of the United Nations Charter. It condemned the U.S. for breaking international law and destabilizing global peace. But even more importantly, it called on the world to act. They urged the UN Security Council to fulfill its duty and condemn the U.S. operation. They demanded justice, not just for Venezuela, but for all sovereign nations threatened by unchecked power. And in a world where silence often equals complicity, the AES refused to be silent. They reminded the world that Africa sees, Africa understands, Africa stands. This is the kind of leadership that Pan-Africanism has always dreamed of. The kind that doesn't wait for validation from the West. The kind that knows its worth. For decades, Africa has stood in solidarity with oppressed peoples around the world. From the anti-apartheid struggle to liberation movements in Latin America and Palestine, African nations have always known what it means to fight for freedom. The AES statement wasn't just about Venezuela. It was about every nation that has faced foreign intervention. Every people whose dignity has been trampled in the name of power. It was a Pan-African call, a reminder that Africa's struggle is tied to global justice. And this time, it wasn't coming from diplomats in suits or foreign aid-funded platforms. It came from a new generation of African-led leadership, bold, military-backed, unapologetically African, and driven by a vision of sovereignty and self-determination. This is what Make Africa Great means. It's not about returning to the past. It's about reshaping the present with courage, unity, and purpose. What makes the AES statement so significant isn't just the politics, it's the principles behind it. By invoking the UN Charter, the Sahel states reminded the world that international law exists for a reason. Sovereignty matters. Justice matters. The rules must apply to everyone, not just the weak, but the strong too. If we allow one country to kidnap a sitting president from another nation without consequence, what message are we sending to the rest of the world? That might makes right? That the rule of law is optional? No. Africa says no. The Confederation of Sahel States says no. This is the foundation of global peace, and it must be defended not only in Africa, but everywhere. Something is happening in Africa. Across the continent, a new consciousness is rising. From the streets of Bamako to the villages of Niamey, people are awakening to the idea that Africa must speak for itself. The AES is not perfect, no government is, but its willingness to stand against global injustice is a spark that must be protected and spread. This video isn't just a reaction to global events. It's a message to every African watching. Your voice matters. Your nation matters. Your continent matters. Africa is not a pawn in someone else's game. It's a rising force with its own dreams, its own people, and its own future. So let this moment be a turning point. Let it inspire you to learn, Tamaiduri,
Greetings everyone, it's another time again, another day, another blessed time to meet with you. Hopefully you are very fine and I'm very fine too, as I'm here today in front of you to give you news that's what is going on in Africa. It's on 8th January, the Confederation of the Sahel States led by Captain Ibrahim Traore issued a power statement that echoed across the globe, or it echoed across the globe means the whole world. A voice from Africa, firm and unapologetic, condemned the United States for its military operation in Venezuela, calling it what is truly is an act of aggression. Now, this is a symbol, or this is a symbol for African awakening continents, and it is no longer willing to stand by itself while international laws are broken and global injustice is condemned. In early January this year, this means January 2026, the United States military forces launched an operation inside Venezuela territory. The mission resulted to abundance of President Nicolas Maduro and his wife, a shocking move that sends a ripple through Latin America and beyond. Mean that this year, January, the United States of America has launched an operation in Venezuela and capturing or taking away the president of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, and his wife. The United States, or USA, claimed that the action was necessary for regional security, but many other countries in the world says it was blunt violation of international laws and sovereignty, especially for the country that is sits and permanent member of United Nations Security Council. Mean that other nations say that this is not necessary as what the USA military has said, and they have said that this is a violation of international laws because the United States said this is necessary so as to maintain regional security, but actually it is not necessary and it is totally breaking down of the international laws and sovereignty, especially for the country that is being violated. Means now, for this is violation of sovereignty of the country of Venezuela. Now, due to that action, the Alliance of Sahel States didn't remain silent, means gave out a statement so as to, I can say, to link to the action that the United States has taken. And the AES statement, it was not soft because it was not diplomatic fluffs. It was clear and direct. And remember, this alliance, or this can say the integration, is under Captain Ibrahim Traore. The Confederation stated that the use of force by one country against the sovereignty of another nation, that is an act of aggression and violation of United States Charter. It was condemned the USA, or United States, for breaking international laws and destabilizing global peace. But even more importantly, it called on world to act. Now, that is what the AES has said, that this is not a normal action, or we can say it is a violation of international laws, because the international laws doesn't allow one country to violate the sovereignty of another country. So what the United States has done is violation of international laws, and this affects actually the people of Venezuela. Now, something is happening. A new conscience is rising from streets of Bamako to the village of Niamey. People are awakening the ideas that Africa must speak for itself, because this statement has been given out by AES. This is Alliance of States of Sahel, and these states are Mali, Niger, together with Burkina Faso. Means this alliance has decided to sit and give out its comments or its idea or its suggestion upon what the United States has said. So means that we can see now the Africa continent is awakening, because this is not easy for African country to speak for the action that has been done by the United States. So other nations should join the AES, because to speak is our right, and what you speak matters. So it means that let's speak, because we are blessed to speak. Anything that happens, we must speak so as to share with others what should be done and to be corrected whether it's right or not. So it's a time for us to awaken, as how the AES has done is likewise to be done by other alliances. So mean that let's speak out. Let's make the world to be under attention that now the African countries are speaking, because through speaking is when you will generate self-dependence, self-power, and self-stand. Because through the self-stand and self-dependence is where the development originates. So the AES is not perfect, yes, it's not perfect that is correct in everything, but it has done what is supposed to be done by other Africans. So means that it is given a right that other Africans should do things in this way. So it's a time for other African countries to awaken, to speak out, so as to make the world under peace condition. Lastly, if not listed, once you like this video, don't forget to like, share, and comment, without forgetting sharing it to other Africans who are here in the continent and those who are abroad. Thanks. Thank
you, Africa, Mama Africa.